Yes, sir. The Rap Roundtable returns with another rendition, another edition, another episode of the vaunted Lunch Hour. You know, shout out to everybody who's been tapping in with the Rap Roundtable. Shout out to everybody on YouTube who's realized that noon is a viable option to start putting out new content. You know, we the trendsetters, we the most innovative, most inspirational. You're welcome. You know what I mean? It's your boy Jarv here alongside the homie Mace, alongside Dini the Balance.
Yo.
As you can notice, Sincere the Rap Snob is not with us for this episode of the Lunch Hour. We have some things to take care of. And, you know, every now and again, you don't always get the whole quartet because we be having things to do. Recently, you've noticed I missed a couple of 3/4 of streams and shit that I just hop on late. There's a lot going on right now, but we make sure that we give you the roundtable in some form or fashion. Like, you don't always get the full Voltron, but as long as it's the Rap Roundtable, the quality don't change regardless of who is there. So, fellas, you know, the internet does what it does as far as artists putting out some things, and when we get into later in the episode, we'll talk about the rap game, the state of affairs. Well, one person who hasn't, you know, missed a step, who hasn't taken any time for granted, is the homie Hit Boy. He dropped a solo project about 2-3 months ago, maybe 2 months ago.
About 2 months ago.
About that, yeah.
His dad comes home, big hit.
Salute.
Now we getting a rollout with his dad, new music. I think he's had a couple of tracks with Pops has been on there, full high quality videos and all of that. So you know, recently we see now is another joint that drops, pretty ill, a little beat switch, big hit flourishing yet again. Hit Boy himself sound like the bars is starting to sharpen a little bit from even just a couple months ago. The bars are tightening up. But Dini the Balance, I'm gonna come to you first. You got to tap in. What do you think of this new collaboration from father and son?
I loved it. As a person that's close to my pops, man, I think if you can create legacy, get money, and have the time of your life with family, I mean, what the fuck is better than that? Shit. And the skills aren't lacking from it. Big Hit still sharp. Apparently the pen ain't hold him down the bad way. He's still cooking. You know what I'm saying? Looking extra swole.
Word.
Hit, the bars, like you said, they sharpen up. Shout out to Little Hit. It's like 3 generations of family in the video, man. To me, it's beautiful, bro. It's just great to see brothers, you know what I'm saying? Like brothers as in brothers, not like their brothers, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's
For
dope
clarity.
to see. Yeah, you dig? It's just dope to see the energy, man. And it don't seem forced. It don't seem like he said, yo, Pops, I know you don't want to rap, but come on, let's do it anyway. Like everybody seems in tune. Everybody's roles played. The Pitbull in the video gave me X vibes. Like it was a lot of symmetry between the family, man. I really dug it. The beat was fire. The switch, the way the beat hit in the second half, bro. Like the way Hit Boy seems to just mesh boom bappery with the trappery. Boom trappery.
Boom bappery with this trappery.
Boom bappery with the trappery, dog. Like it just works, man. Salute to them.
Trappery.
I'm very impressed. Salute to them dudes, man.
Hey man,
very impressed.
Hit Boy, you know, it's one thing, you know, when you call people out and you talk about versatility and things of that nature, but I feel like there's no better producer to do so than Hit Boy, because he's keep proving time and again that he is the most versatile as far as sonics go. He can give you whatever you came to get from him. Like he's on deck 10 times out of 10. So like to again, the boom trappery, another geniism, I'm not mad at it. To the homie Bass, what were your thoughts on the visual, the whole idea behind it? Talk to us.
Man, listen, I don't mean to echo the sentiments because, you know, dissension amongst co-workers is good for TV. Shouts to Shannon and Skip, you know what I mean? But
no,
listen, man,
Shannon and Skip broke up.
It was working.
It was great while it lasted.
It was good while it lasted, man. You know what I mean? Skip, I'm starting to think something about you, my guy. But listen, man, just like Dean said, you know, I'm a person who grew up with my pops, man. I'm a father. This is the type of shit, you know what I mean? Right before Father's Day this weekend, just dope shit, man. Like, just like you said, if you want to comment on the music of it all, Hit is he's in his prime right now. Like Hit, I don't know if he's just doing this shit over and over. I don't know if he's staying in his stool. You know what I mean? But Hit is at his peak right now. We watching one of the future, or it's gonna be in the future. But we watching one of the best ever, we could say, in their prime. So just appreciate it. Period. You know what I mean? Just like you say, his pen is a little sharp. I can't lie. Like with the type of song it is, I wasn't looking for sharp bars. You know what I mean? I was happy that he more or less stayed in topic. You know what I mean? About, you know, him and his pops going back and forth on Styles P and Jada type shit. You know what I mean? If I recall, rappers doing songs with their pops, we got Nas and Olu Dara. You know what I mean? We got Drake and I forgot his pop's name. But this might be my favorite one I've ever heard of any rapper doing this song with they pop. It's a very limited selection, you know what I mean? But this everything about this shit was dope to me, you know what I mean? And it may be the sentimental value of it, you know what I'm saying? But listen, man, what better story you see than this, bro? Like, I know hitting the studio right now, just sitting up, because he got a bunch of shit going on, a bunch of shit he's cooking at the highest level. So 2 thumbs up from me. No complaints.
I mean, I'm not mad at that. Drake's dad's name is Dennis Grant for the people in the chat or the comments who are going to be a theme, because there's always a few themes in the comments.
Indeed.
They're going to strip my OVO card.
Word, you know what I mean? Damn. They don't get the show. They're going to complain. They keep thinking that we're supposed to be rap historians and experts, even though we keep telling you that we're not. We're just fans of the podcast. You know, we got accused, some lame in the comments just the other day, accused us of doing propaganda and doing shits for likes. I'm like, God damn. So the amount of trouble that we've got into as a podcast with our own listeners. We speak our truths. Sometimes we say some things to upset people and we move on. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to get that out there. Mace didn't remember Dennis Graham's name, but we're human here, and we're gonna say some things that you don't like and you might like. But we just want you to be entertained. If you're not entertained, then go watch another show. You know what I mean? But as far as grind, let me get the name of the song correctly. Grinding My Whole Life Part 2.
Part 2.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? I thought it was ill, like, to listen to Hit talk about, you know, having those feelings about his father, you know, his presence growing up and getting over it, because in a lot of scenarios in this country, especially, you know, a black man grows up without his dad, proceeds to get success, but they don't reconnect. You know what I mean? He carries that vigor of not having his pops around his whole life, even with the success. He just put the stepdad or the father figure, whoever it might be, comes around, and that's the person that really resonates with your success. That's the person you thank. That's the person that you put on for going in the future. So to see Hit Boy be able to put that on wax, that you had to figure that was a real session. Like, that had to be some ill nigga moments inside the studio to put that on wax, to play it back. And if Big Hit is going on tour with Hit Boy or whatever, or they got a little performance somewhere in Cali, Pasadena, and they hear these bars over and over again, that's always gonna touch an emotional chord as men. You know what I mean? So I thought that was fire. Visually, as we know, we level up, and you see there's more complete black homes in America as opposed to our era and before, where there's a lot of 2-parent homes now. To see Hit Boy and his dad in this video building together on some Griffey Jr. and Griffey Sr. shit, that shit is fun. That every time I see them on wax or in a video, I think of Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr. That's because that was always the staple black dad, black son that we all look towards. If you were an 80s, 90s kid, Griffey Jr. and Griffey Sr. was like, wow, father and son made it at the highest level. So when I watch them, it gives me the feels, because it's like, you want to see that, you want to have that representation. Then to have Lil Hit in there, to have the generations, like, and the song actually be dope, because sometimes niggas make these type of songs and they don't hit, for lack of a better word. But this, but to me, this song is fire. You know what I'm saying? Like I just like the idea that Hit Boy has created this success. He's created this infrastructure, and to have his dad come home and to have that landing spot. A lot of people, we're not talking about this enough, a lot of people do that time. 20, 30 years, you spend your whole adult life in jail, and you come home, and what are you coming home to? You know what I'm saying? Can you get a job? You on parole? You get stressed out, and then a lot of the things that you try to get away from or got you locked up in the first place, you got to revert back to that to make bread, and then you end up back in jail. So for Hit Boy to have this success and to not use it against his dad or look for shove it in his face like, "Here, dad, I did it without you." Instead, pops, pull up. I did all of this so you could come now and live your dreams.
Embrace them.
My man coming home with these bars, bro. I mean, he's really a West Coast dude. Like, and looking at Hit Boy, and I look at his Pops. Like, Pops is really like from a time machine. Like, he's 90s West Coast dude in 2023.
Facts, down to the walk, bro.
The walk, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
shit.
It's really ill to see. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love to see it. I love what Hit Boy is doing. Hit Boy is really. Even if you want to say he's not making, quote, hit records, he did it already. But in this time frame that he's in right now, he's making very substantive songs that are going to last, songs that are going to hit 15, 20 years from now, because he's putting a lot of thought and a lot of intentional reasons and behaviors into the records that are coming out. I don't even care if he doesn't work with Nas again. Like, we always talk about what Hit Boy has done for Nas. I feel like Nas's affiliation with Hit Boy is kind of change his perspective on making music, change his sonics, change his earnestness as far as making these records, and gave him a level of confidence that he might not have had going into the KD series. So I got to give him his due. Real quick,
and my fault, Jarvin. Just wanted to say, if I'm just grinding my whole life, part 2, part 1 is with Nip, right?
Nipsey. Yeah.
So touching that classic,
all my life. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I know y'all don't like to call new shit classic, but that's a classic record. So this coming part 2 with this is even more like, this is meaningful, y'all.
And let's be clear, rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. Victory Lap was a classic before he lost his life. If we're talking about modern hip hop, because the thing is, because I'm gonna start treating rap like the NBA. Whereas I don't think that you can have one universal GOAT. Like, to me, there was Jordan era GOAT, Magic era GOAT, Kobe era GOAT, Braun era GOAT, so on and so forth, because the game has changed too much for you to say there's one universal. There's a guy with a resume that you could say he did it the best at the highest level, and some might argue it's LeBron, some might argue it's Jordan. But at the end of the day, it was 2 different eras. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's hard.
How did you compete against your era?
Right.
You know what I mean?
How did you do against your contemporaries? And LeBron against his contemporaries, and it's kind of blurry because it's 20 years, but I would say, like, after 2011 through now is his. You know what I mean? Kobe from 2000 to 2010, that's his. Jordan 90 through 2000, 90s. Even when he retired, that's his.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 80s was
and we know Magic
you could flip a coin, you know?
Facts.
In the modern era of rap, with the sonics, the new technology, the new flows, and all of the things, the internet, et cetera, Victory Lap is a classic. If you disagree, that's fine. But for me, front to back play, having a beginning, middle, and the end, connective tissue, thoughtful bars, things that matter, and as a
great beat
selection as a regional artist, I felt like with Nip took me to Cali. That's how I always feel about Victory Lap. He took me to Cali, and I went on vacation for a good month, and I got to go to different spots, different energies. Victory Lap is a classic. In fact, I don't feel like niggas say that enough about that project. You know what I mean?
They don't.
It's a fire album.
Like an album should show you who a nigga is, and I felt like you really learned who Nip was on that album.
There might be
That's
some
what I'm talking about.
Like hardcore Nip fans might feel like there's mixtapes that are better, but as far as albums go, bodies of work that are supposed to mean something, Victory Lap is it, bro.
One of the best of the past 10 years, easily.
Oh, yeah.
To cap off the big hit, the accountability on that record was crazy. Like the way, these are conversations a lot of people wish they could have with their dad. You know what I'm saying? The way he basically said, yo, when I was a young dude balling, you know what I'm saying? He was locked up and you wasn't there. Like he spoke to him about these things. And I'm sure, like, while recording this, these were conversations they probably had together. They were probably in the studio, like, really building. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure, like, because Big Hit strike me as a real nigga. I'm sure he was taking that in, like, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't know why he was doing what he had to do. Nigga maybe had to provide us some, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, I just respect the father-sonness of it all, especially coming from black folk. I just think it's beautiful.
You know what? Not for nothing, bro. When you go to jail, it kind of changes your perspective on what's an uncomfortable conversation to have. So having to sit for that time, it's easier to have that. He probably thought about that while he was in there, like, damn, I'm not there for my kid or whatever. So it's like when he comes home, he probably was the one who initiated that conversation. You know what I mean? Like, when you know people who did time, like, their perspective of what's uncomfortable is not ours.
Life is uncomfortable.
That's a fact. But real quick before we move on, did anyone get to hear that 3 Stacks? Nigga, man, this
Killer Mike.
I haven't yet. Something about scientists and engineers and some shit. I didn't get to hear it yet.
Are we gonna save that for when Sin comes back on?
I think we should. You know that's sin. That's sin.
I tapped in, but we need sin on that one. Yeah.
All right, because I want to slander in person. I don't want to send to hear this. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man.
I want to slander the record how it's supposed to be slandered with sin in person. You know what? Sin.
We got to talk about who's really carrying the Dungeon family.
That's
these
a
days.
fact. It's big giving them interviews, huh?
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Yo.
Or the other gentleman on the record. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be honest.
Well, let's talk about the guys putting out full bodies of work and not getting by on verses that are a bit overrated, huh?
Yo. It's crazy because they asked Sleepy Brown, so what's up with this Outkast album? Nigga said it ain't happening, bro. He said Andre's on a different path, doing whatever he's doing. So
playing
so much for that. So much in Japan. So much for that Outkast.
Andre the Hooper who just want to go to the park from time to time and put up some shots. He really don't want to. He don't want to go to the park all summer long. But on that random Tuesday, I'm gonna pull up. I'm a bust. I assume because I'm nice. But then you might not see me the rest of the summer. You know what I mean?
You might see me 2 summers, nigga.
Shit.
First verse in 2 years.
Shit. But you know what I'm saying? Your man overrated, bro. We gonna say it again. He's overrated. Let's set the tone for the live.
Did you remember any of them bars? I don't know.
Nigga, you don't remember the bars from the shit that niggas love. You're not gonna remember the bars from shit from 2 days ago, dog.
I knew it's gonna get him, man.
Not for nothing. 3 Stacks another nigga that sent the fan more than Nas. I'm just putting that out there. I'm just throwing that out there. Just for the record.
They coming in hot and spot.
Yes, man.
Is that coming in hot? But it's like, but recently Lil Boosie picked up the feds. So, perusing on Twitter, because that's my favorite social media website. Even if Elon did what he did, to me, Twitter's still Twitter to me. People still get ratioed. Black Twitter is still very black. And my corner of Twitter is still the same. The harlots are still harloting. Ain't nothing changed. In fact, you could say the harlotry has gotten worse since Elon.
Gender wars, you know what I'm saying? Regular Twitter shit, man.
You see how Twitter got the Suki situation in a frenzy, you know what I'm saying? Twitter's still Twitter for us. It's ugly, man. But a person said that, and we're speculating, this is reckless speculation. He was like, Boosie was already working with the feds, and they started doing all these pod interviews, and he started talking too much. So they had to snatch him up to reset him. So I'm gonna lob that grenade to Mace, because I know Mace loves the chicanery.
Man, listen, man. I'm not gonna put on Boosie's head that he's, one of them folks. He strike me as somebody who really disgusted by that. You know what I'm saying? However you feel about that is however you feel about that. I will say this, though. It was interesting because they snatched him up right after he attended YNW Melly's trial. His murder trial. High profile rapper case, you know what I'm saying? Death penalty on the in the balance. And after he went to that, Boosie made it a point to say, any rapper murder trial that there is, you're going to see me in attendance. You know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden he was arrested. So I don't know. I don't say he's a fed. I'm all for the chicanery. You know what I'm saying? But Boosie, I ain't going to put that on Boosie's name. He was ready to stop being friends with T.I. over that shit.
You right.
Bingo. There we go.
You right.
And you know what I mean? So I think Boosie is just a little bit too old for the fuckery, because we know remember when Mo 3 got killed in the pandemic year, I believe in 2020. He went out there and got shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right after
the old head in attendance. You know what I'm saying? Like, knowing you sick, Boosie, like, for real. They say his diabetes, had his leg all fucked up because of the shooting. Wild shit. So Boosie, I think you need to chill. You know what I mean? I get, like, Boosie got a little bit of the Vlad energy where his face is everywhere, the hypnotized from hatred memes. Boosie's hot right now. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Boosie out right now, but nah. I think he just doing too much. Is what he's doing.
Okay, fair play. Dini, talk to me, bro.
The old head, man. Don't let that Boosie fade fool you, man. He's not as young as he looks. Damn. But he's out there. I mean, I dig it, man. If you out there supporting, I mean, we don't know the situation with a lot of these dudes, but if you're out there supporting artists while they're going through their struggles, I dig that. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot more than a lot of people are doing. Like, if I was going through some shit and some dude says, you know what, because you're a member of this community, I'm going to check and see how you doing during your case. I respect that. So I can't put none past Boosie. Now, Boosie, to my knowledge, has always been solid. That's really been Boosie crutch, bro. Like, Boosie's never been the MC. We was like, yo, you heard that new Boosie? Like, Boosie was just real. And we respected the nigga for being real. And I've always, even the shit with T.I., bro, I respected that, bro, because that was like no bias. That was like, this nigga's on that team, fuck him too. And that's my fans. So I
was about to make an album and all that.
Bruh, so I dig it. But Boosie's always been the same. And he's not giving me a reason yet to believe he has been on some extra flip shit. So I'm sticking with Boosie, bro. I'm sticking with Baton Rouge on this one. I think Boosie's doing his thing.
I agree with the panel. I don't want to believe that Boosie been working with the feds and all this and that. I just thought it was an interesting take on Twitter, because Twitter is the land of reckless takes. You know what I mean? But honestly,
recklessness.
Bro, there's to be clear, there's no real substantial information beyond, I think, a gun charge. Mace was telling me off air, like it might be something related to a hammer. But I guess me wonders aloud, like, when have the feds gotten involved with gun charges? That's usually like local things. You know what I mean? Like, we got a whole state RICO case with YSL that the feds have not touched. So like, what exactly about this? Is it like a gun ring? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on?
Right.
To pull Boosie in, like, and it's like, we know in past history, with the exception of Murder Inc., the feds don't move unless they got you. So I'm
97% rate.
Yeah, I'm kind of hurt, because it's like, Boosie's a voice for the culture, and I was watching his interview on Mavs Pod, and for better or worse, Boosie gonna Boosie, whether it sound ignorant or not. He speaks his truth. And in this space, in this internet world that we live in, where one wrong phrase can get you up out of here, you're always one word away from cancellation on the internet. We saw what happened to Meek with the Suki situation. Meek went from saying let young boy live to saying protect Suki in the same night.
Yeah,
you're one phrase away. So to have a voice like Boosie, who's willing to stand in the trenches, willing to stand on everything he says, willing to go on these platforms, regardless of who it might be, and because he's going on high level platforms, he's going on mid level platforms, he's going on independent platforms. Boosie's a man of the people, and I feel like this is a loss for the culture. This is not the same loss as like someone passing away, but in the event that he has to go sit for a second, this is another prominent figure who's making the kind of noise that we like, for better or worse, taken off the board. And it's like, I'm concerned, because I'm already seeing reports that he's putting up vehicles for sale and things, and he put out a tweet that made it sound like it was a rap. So again, if it's the feds, bro, like, it's a rap. Like, this, it's just a matter of, are you gonna cop out? Is it gonna be a plea involved? Long story short, how many years are we gonna be without Boosie? That is the question. And how is his family going to sustain? Because he was the breadwinner. He's the guy doing these appearances, getting to the bag. I'm kind of sick behind this. That's the last thing I expected, was to get that alert saying Lil Boosie picked up by the federal government. Like, come on, bro.
And he's hot, bro. That's the thing. You know, at that age in hip hop to still be hot, that's shout out to Boosie, man.
Arguably the hottest he's ever been.
Right, and that's the good thing about hip hop in 2023, right?
Hot topic.
The older artists, Nas is hot for music, right? Jay is hot for business. 50 hot for movies. Boosie hot for fuckery. You know what I mean? Like, it's different lanes to stay hot in hip hop. Is all I'm trying to say. And so
indeed,
seeing Boosie get cut off at the legs is kind of fucked up. And speaking of rap dads, you mentioned you just seen him on Matt Papa, seen him on Breakfast Club with his son. Shout to Tootie Roll, you know what I mean? Since it's Rap Father's Day lunch hour this week.
Talk about it. But it's like, you know, I'm kind of mad, bro. It's really tough. Yo, like this, and who's next? Fucked up. Because it's like, he's out here making a lot of noise, and it's like they could just move it so swiftly. Like, is it gonna be? Because I'm looking at Cameron, not to say Cameron's a criminal or Mace. But it's like, anytime guys talk too loud, shit just be happening. And we see Cameron getting elite guests on that show. I think Stephen A was on that show. Brandon Marshall was on that show.
He cooking.
Now we gotta see, are the people them gonna start putting their eyes on that platform to see what's really going on with it? Just be, to my black men, especially right now, be careful. You know what I mean?
It's ugly out here.
Outside of cancellation, the man is always lurking, and you gotta be cognizant about your moves. I hope that this is a situation where Boosie comes home, but then I'm scared that if he gets picked up by the feds Then he comes home and he's back to potting. Are they gonna start throwing that S word around? You know what I mean? You know, people are ignorant. You see what happened with the next person we're about to talk about, Gunna. Gunna's not shaking those allegations. He's a rap. That's what they're saying. Based on the information we got, he answered some questions, and it's like he said, "Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am," but did he rap? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But technically, by the law of the street, he told, whether he meant to or not.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna say the lawyers tricked him.
That's what he said in the bar. He said it in the rap. He said the DAs tricked him. All you had to do was say, honestly, is YSL a gang in the street? You know, I'm not sure. I know I signed to the label. I make music with Young Thug. I know that's what I would have said. I make music with Young Thug. We go on tour together. I don't know much about the street stuff. Are you a gang member, Gunna? Are you in a gang? I'm in a gang.
Are you a part of a criminal organization?
Yeah.
Like, shit get different, bro.
We're a gang of great musicians. That's what we are.
You know what I'm saying?
I have a contract with my label that says YSL Records or YSL Entertainment, but that's where our relationship stops. But he's not a talker. You know what I mean? So he talked himself into becoming a snitch, for lack of a better word. He's not ducking the charges. And now word is he's dropping a new album. Then you got through to the group chat. I remember the date. Can you talk to us about the new Gunna project? Like, what's the date on that there?
Tomorrow.
Tonight.
Yeah, man.
Well, you know, technically, so basically, at the time of the Lunch Hour being out, the new Gunna album will be out.
Indeed.
Oh.
Are y'all listening, chat? Who's tapping into the new Gunna? Put in the chat. Tell us who tapping in. Thumbs up if you're tapping in. Thumbs down if you're not tapping in.
Or if you're not tapping in, let me get a rat emoji.
No rat emoji.
No. Yo, dude, we right here, bro.
Oh man, y'all horrible. Y'all are horrible, man.
Nigga.
Yo, man.
I saw the video. There was a video in the club where they played the Gunna music and the whole club stopped, bro.
It's still.
That might be the nastiest thing I've ever seen, bro.
That's nasty. It was in the A too, right?
In the A.
Yeah. It's ugly.
That's Daniel Hernandez treatment. I ain't even gonna lie to you, gang. Like me personally, I'm a tap in. I'm intrigued by the controversy. I think Gunna is. I like Gunna's discography. Period. I'm gonna be honest. His solo and his collab tapes. Yeah. I like Bread and Butter, the joint that he dropped. You know, right before this. So you know, I'm gonna check it out, bro. I pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna check it the fuck out.
You saying you a civilian?
As civilian as it gets, man. I'm getting up there, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't on my Steven Jackson shit. I ain't checking in nowhere, bro. But an interesting thing is because in Bread and Butter, something that Gunna's not known for lyrics. I'm not one of them people who go around saying, yo, you can't understand Gunna or Future or Thug. That's the bar for me if you're old for me. If you say, I can't understand what these guys are saying, gotcha. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that his lyrics were the highlight of the first single. Lyrics are never the highlight of a Gunna single. So I'm like, Gunna gonna be talking on there? That's what they said he did in that courtroom. So if he gonna be talking on the album, I'm intrigued. I want to see if he gonna get into it.
That nigga needs to have like 12 pushing P's on there, bro. He needs.
That's the problem. Hits. Atlanta said Gunna is not P. The song came on.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Stopped the club, bro. I've never seen that before. Usually,
it was wild.
Might mess with the DJ's equipment, and that might stop the room. But then that might lead to some violence. I'm like, they'll put the fucking music back on. You know what I mean? You know how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
But like for people as a group, it ain't like they had a group chat said, "All right, if Gunna come on, we all gonna stop." They all subconsciously knew what to do in that moment. That's crazy. Like Gunna was representing culture at one point. As far as youth, not us, but the young people,
the youth.
He pushing P was a lifestyle, bro.
Yeah, bro, you'd have thought they played Hit 'Em Up in Bed Style, bro. This shit was kind of ill. Like, I'm like, is this a skit or something? I never seen no shit like that.
It was wicked. It was wicked, bro.
At this point, you know, I'm gonna listen to the album too because at the end of the day, I want to hear what he says so we could talk about it on the podcast. But it's like,
first of all, that bothered a lot of us because we actually like Gunna music. You know what I'm saying? So the whole snitch shit kind of
I know Judas liked Gunna. I don't remember me liking Gunna so much, but I'm pretty sure.
With Gunna.
Yeah,
Gunna's the
Judas.
Gunna's like he's in a Future-esque realm to me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm good.
Gunna's like that perfect, like if Future and like the Babies or like the number one option, Gunna's that perfect second option. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Bingo.
A trap Beanie Siegel, if you will. You know what I mean?
Wow, don't do that to Beans. Beans is not appreciated.
Perfect number two.
Beans don't appreciate.
My bad, Beans.
That was tough, man.
Beans did his time. Beans did his time. Man.
Hey, man, more than a few times.
Yo. For real.
Yo, y'all wild tonight.
Yo, just keeping it a stack, man. Keeping it a bean.
Hey, I was more of a Lil Baby and Moneybagg fan, but Gunna had some joints that I was spinning. But it's like at this point, outside of hearing what he has to say, I want to see what the sales numbers look like. The sales numbers are going to be very loud.
Facts.
What if he ends up being number one after all of that?
The first number one of the year, right? Imagine that
shit. I wouldn't be surprised if this hits on the album. Hits matter, bro. They can change the game.
Nah, if he number one, then I gotta start playing 6ix9ine music again. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm putting it out there.
Hey,
6ix9ine ain't Gunna.
You right. That's the point. Fair play.
That's the point. Right.
And Gunna really wasn't in the streets. You get what I'm saying? Like he wasn't really playing the mob nigga like the way 6ix9ine was playing the mob nigga.
Let me ask y'all this question.
Mm-hmm.
We're not condoning what he did. Again, we already spoke to what he did. But Gunna's not the reason that Thug is in jail, is he? Am I incorrect in saying that?
I don't think he's the reason.
Did he play a role in why he's still there and how he got picked up in the first place?
That I could say why he's still locked. I could put that against him. Okay. If he answered that question a little different, shit might have been a little different.
If him and the dozens of others, we have to speak on the fact that YSL has tons of fucking motherfuckers who said the same thing and worse, including Thug's brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, talk about it, Mace.
You know that's why it's like, but somehow Gunna's the one who was the,
right. And it was like that's why I'm like, I'm not trying to shoot Bam. I'm just saying like he was again. I don't listen to his lyrics. I don't know. But when I heard Gunna, I didn't hear a dude who was a gangster rapper. He wasn't a tough guy to me. I don't know if that was in his raps. I don't know.
Fashion nigga.
Mace is the only who could maybe tell me if he was talking that high shit.
Light street bars, everybody got a gun bar too, you know what I mean? Everybody got I'll never. He did have some I won't tell bars. I ain't gonna lie. He did have
well, there you go. He's qualified.
There's a few.
You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie. He did.
He said I won't tell and proceeded to tell. So at that point, I can't. The bail is gone. You know what I mean? Shit. Moving on. Let me again. Thumbs up, thumbs down, or the rat emoji, whatever y'all decide to do. Let us know in the chat.
The rat emoji is not endorsed by Jaw. Y'all remember that?
Yeah, just so y'all know. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be fair and just because Sid is not here tonight, so I can't be on my full job shit. I gotta be fair and a little bit of the straight guy just for this episode. You know what I mean? Moving on to DJ Drama. A video comes out where they put the pause on Drama. After he was being a little messy with the whole situation with Meek, and then even further, we talked about it recently, where he played a large role in what happened to Quentin Miller's career not taking off how it was supposed to take off because he was being light-skinned / chatty patty. You know what I mean? Because really, honestly, we could put all the blame on DJ Drama because if Drama doesn't say anything and he doesn't start that domino effect, there's no car crash. You know what I'm saying? We don't speak for God. God works how he works. We just talk about the evidence that's placed in front of us. If he doesn't mess up the bag that he was building with OVO, maybe Quentin Miller's a superstar right now. Maybe he's in the position that the Weeknd was supposed to be in at OVO. Yes. Or Party Next Door. One of them dudes standing next to Drake.
If nothing else, like a Neo where he's just writing for a bunch of niggas,
Right.
So,
you know what I mean? So
he might have his leg.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of things transpired because of DJ Drama's messiness and the fact that they became real buddy after all of that, and he was on the outside looking in. Now this video comes out and he got beat up or he got robbed or whatever the case may be. And I'll be the first to tell you, I didn't feel bad, fellas. I saw that happen. And I'm like, you know what? Considering what we just spoke about a few seconds ago and what we know about DJ Drama, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad, but then who did they say was the one who pushed the button? Was it Aubrey?
Top 5. Oh, they said it might have been Aubrey, but they said, that's the top 5 is Aubrey one of his shoulders according to top 5. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It always starts with a joint.
Well,
that's how the whole thing started, with a joint.
OVO Capo was right here, so let us know what's going on.
I'm saying, you know, I ain't gonna lie. Listen, just to tap in, because we're gonna get into the OVO aspect, but just to tap in what you said, y'all. I recall maybe a week or two ago, we all said that the karma was coming for DJ Drama. We literally said that on the live, like that Meek, you might be next, bro. They trying to cancel you right now. It's coming quick. You know what I mean? So I ain't gonna lie. You walk around, you being foul of people, it might just swing your way. You know what I mean? The wild shit is that DJ Drama, they called him on the live shouting out the top 5 dude who's locked up. According to, they saying top 5 who's locked up, push the button on the, you know, the Toronto Goons, which sounds funny to say. You know what I mean? But, you know, listen, man.
They out there, you know what I mean?
Goons everywhere.
You know, the dude is in jail on a murder charge. You know what I'm saying?
They tried to poke up Pusha T on the stage that one time. You know what I mean? They be out there.
You go to his comments, you see GS9 shouting him out. You see some wild shit. I'm like, they tapped in, but they saying Aubrey pushed the button because of the, you know, the origin of everything. But I don't think Drake is that sloppy. I think it's just some let's prove our loyalty to you type of shit on some street time. And if you know a little bit, we civilians, but if you know a little bit, you know, I might have read a book or two, seen a documentary or two. But what they say,
the streets.
Yeah, what they say is that a lot of the young crash outs will try to just do some shit on the streets just to prove loyalty from afar type of shit. Because from what we know, anything that's ever been involved with Drake, they don't even speak about it. You know, Drake is the McDonald's, you know what I mean? He got endorsements to do, so he can't be too directly tied to street shit. But, you know what I mean? Listen, that's what the dudes who said it are saying. You know, this is for Drake. You know what I mean? So I don't know what to make of it, to be honest. I know what happened, though. It was widely reported. DJ Drama ain't posted a thing since on any of his socials. You know what I mean? They saying he was leaking and all that. They say he was leaking all up in the club. Like, shit was gushing blood. You know what I mean?
It was a brawl, bro.
What else you heard, though, Dean? You was saying you heard something else about this shit.
Basically, a lot of niggas got caught up in the mix. Niggas was beaten, and Julius basically went on tours. That's what I'm hearing.
Wow.
You know, but you were saying that they had to cash in, get that back, you had said?
Supposedly 120 racks. But like I said, I don't know if it's 120 racks. Right. But I just know those offerings usually don't come at a free rate. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay your tithes,
yo. Insure your jewelry, folks.
120K. That's crazy. Man. He got it though. Man. He got it.
Does he though?
Drama don't got 120K.
I'm not comfortable saying that he just got 120K to blow. He got 120. You know what I mean?
Was a big part of that. That Call Me If You Get Lost, which was a major album.
How much of the hospital bills?
I don't know, bro. DJ Drama's, you know, and let me be clear. By comparison to these guys that we're talking about, we know we are poor by comparison of them. We know that. I'm doing okay out here. Diddy's doing okay. Mate's doing okay. By common man standards, we're doing okay. By rap standards, we're
under the ball.
But at the same time, we know how to read the room. We know how the industry works. We know who's really getting to it. I don't see DJ Drama as a guy who just has 120 to just say, here, give me my shit back. Maybe 10 years ago, you know, what was the peak Gangsta Grill era? Like, around what years?
Thinking 06, 07, 08.
Shit, we got to go 15.
Wayne.
Yeah, the Jeezy and Wayne joints. That was his peak.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even if he did do Call Me If You Get Lost with Tyler, the Creator, like, what was his cut of that? Like, to talk of some songs.
That's
right.
True.
He really blew that, if that's the case.
You know, I think he's trying to solidify that. I think he's trying to get into that, you know, DJ Khaled secure shit. I think that's why he was going crazy on Meek for not showing up to the Tiny Desk.
He doesn't get mad at Meek like that if he has 120K. Just here, you robbed me. Can I get that back? But I think he's trying to build that nest so that if he does get robbed again, he could have that bread. Like, I'm sorry, DJ Drama. If you had the bread like that, he'd have been on the socials. He wouldn't have gave a fuck. He got beat up. So what? You know what I mean?
Security.
This is a big loss for him, bro.
Yeah, man. That's an L right there. I ain't gonna lie. It's an L.
I'm gonna come clean though. I don't think that the guys who did it, I don't think Drake got nothing to do with it, because OVO Capo himself, or the OVO boss. You know what I mean? Anytime things happen with Drake, you're not allowed to even say his name. He's like, we know things have happened, but he's really the phantom. Like, he's not gonna be the person where you say, yeah, we did that for Drake. Nah, that was clout chasing. I think the guys who did that, who threw Drake name out there, did it for the viral moment of it. Yeah, we beat his ass, and we trying to go viral. Because if things happen with Aubrey, bro, he don't even claim credit for it. It happened. We move on.
Not fucking that bag up.
He might loosely reference a thing or two in a bar, but you got to really know what's going on to catch the bar. Right. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say Drake don't got nothing to do with it, but the timing of it all. You know, matter of fact, I'm gonna do it, y'all. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Okay. Meek Mill ain't do the Tiny Desk. You know, whatever didn't he put out a project not too long ago that was supposed to ring off DJ Drama?
Yeah, he did. He did. Like a Gangsta Grills type of shit.
Wasn't the Tiny Desk part of his rollout?
Yeah, it was.
And see how I asked you that question about the project? You know what I'm saying? And you really can't answer it. You don't know, but we know a project with his name came out, right?
Right. We don't know his song. I know the Benny song, the Benny Fabulous Jim Jones song. That's all I know.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna do the Googles live on the air because I'm going somewhere with this. You know what I mean? I'm going somewhere with this because I want to be clear, right? It was called Murder Gang. That was the name of the project. Latest album dropped 2023. I'm trying to get the date for y'all right now. You know what I'm saying?
It could have been $1 billion up for me to answer that question, not the whole bag.
The whole bag.
It dropped sometime in May. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to Apple because I want to get the date for y'all.
Last month.
You know what I'm saying? This dropped May 19th, 2023. So you see, chat. We know in the chat there's people who really are hardcore new music heads, right? But again, I want y'all to be 1,000 out with this, chatting in the comment section. How much y'all knew that album dropped, right? And how much y'all really paid attention to it and gave a fuck about it? That's all I want to know. But I go back to say this: the rollout flopped. The casuals don't care. They're not tweeting about it. The people like us who give a fuck don't even remember it because the songs didn't land. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm looking at, and then we heard all the news that happened with Meek and Drake and to a lesser extent, Quentin Miller. All of that came to pass during the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I think DJ Drummer might be on some Juicy Smollett situation. I think this is a Jussie Smollett. I think he cheddar-bobbed himself. I think he set this whole shit up for the clip.
Oh, shit.
I'm putting it on wax. Because what reason would niggas have to beat up DJ Drama? He's not even, you know what I mean? He's not the type of guy that just gets beat up in the club.
I was perplexed. I'm not gonna lie. I was like
low key, he strike me as the type of nigga that be behind a lot of shady shit on the low though. He strike me as that. You know what I'm
saying? Type of nigga.
Juicy Smollett.
Smollett.
Got a couple of dudes to beat him up when he was about to get written off that show on Channel 5 or Fox, whatever Fox is in your neighborhood.
And 2 degrees in Chicago.
It didn't work out. And wrestling, rap is wrestling to a certain degree. I wouldn't put it past DJ Drama, who was desperate enough to be mad at Meek via text message, to do this. I think it's fake. I think he set this whole shit up and he's on some Jussie Smollett shit. I'm putting it on wax, y'all.
I like that. I think I ain't gonna lie, man. Because that's a high risk. That's a high risk, high reward type shit. Like if Job is right on that, that's gonna be a W. Man.
Well, where's the win though? Where's the win?
And then the motherfuckers say, "Oh, we did it for Drake. Make sure you say Drake name in the video." Niggas have never done that. Drake's been in the game since 2008, bro.
I dig it.
I hope not. They're saying he hated Drake originally because he smashed his wife. So if he's smashing your wife and then 5 years later you get your chain took, you gotta put a hit out on that man.
Always because of a jaw.
You got to, man. But Drake smashed his jaw. No, why you getting me robbed?
Yo,
the OVO Don don't got time with that. He just dropped late fourth quarter 2022. He dropped an album that rang off crazy. Now he got a whole new single where he back singing again. That's pretty decent. I ain't gonna front. I like the record. I'm glad that the Lil Durk version didn't happen because I ain't gonna front. This little new Drake with the little Kim Kardashian little voices on there. You know what I mean? Kind of tough.
It's tough.
Kind of tough. You know what I mean? I don't mean to say that too often, but it's kind of tough. But moving on from Drake to another Drake nemesis, a true nemesis of Aubrey. Pusha T. Let me get the screenshot here because I get the sense, I think Pusha T has a Gangsta Grills coming out, and now I'm concerned based on what's happening with DJ Drama if we're going to get this Gangsta Grills. But
I mean, if what you're saying is accurate, we're definitely getting it because of the whole Pusha Drake dynamic. So there should be a lot of great bars and jabs on that.
Which makes me believe my theory is even more correct. Let me start beefing with Drake just in time for Pusha to drop. You know, Pusha and Drake still throw shots at each other.
You onto something. You onto something.
Just saying, you know what I mean? I work here, you know? So Pusha T on his latest Instagram says, fun fact, had I not had to do these shows, I could have been fucking y'all up this summer. I'm talking about really smoking you niggas, man. So that's the second Instagram post, or the third actually, where he's been subtly talking to a certain someone or somebodies in the rap space, and we all know who he's talking. He's talking to Capo, because all of these posts started after Capo tried to front on his career acumen, saying how valid, how lit he is. You know
on behalf of the OVO God.
But you're not even fully like
man wasn't top 50.
My man did one show at Apollo, wore Cameron's man. He didn't win no Jim Jones. He wore Killer's man. You OVO Capo now. You know what I mean?
Yo, took my spot, man.
Moved you out the way. So that being said, you know, I'm gonna need Pusha T to leave France. Shout out to all these shows you doing, all this Fashion Week shit. We love it. We love to see
Get the bread.
But we need these bars. If you keep posting these Instagrams, that means you already wrote the bars. We know you got a Jim Jones bar, or 3, or 16, or 32, or 48. We know you got it.
Mm-hmm.
Get off this tour or whatever you're doing and give us the bars. All these threats, we know it's coming, bro. My question for the Rap Roundtable would be, send if you in the chat, you can let us know in the chat or let us know on the live on Monday. On a scale of 1 to 10, and why? How excited would you be for a Jim Jones and Pusha T squabble in 2023? Dini, you go first.
Not too excited. You said from 1 through 10, I'm going like a 4.
4? Okay.
Like a 4.
Okay. Why so low?
Because I don't think Jimmy can handle that work. Pause. It wouldn't be a squabble. It'll be a nigga literally tap dancing around another nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Copy. Mesito.
This is Pusha T. When he mad, go. Only if it was somebody more like, if it was Drake, if it was a Benny the Butcher, if it was a Freddie Gibbs, that's the only thing that would push it to 10.
A true contemporary, yeah.
A contender. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that it's Jim is like, but come on, bro. Like,
give me a number,
man. Push it 9, bro. Like, come on, bro.
You excited?
Push? Hell yeah, man.
Wow.
Hell yeah. Listen, hell yeah, man.
That'll be a 1-round fight, bro. Stop. If that was a boxing match,
you would be
excited.
I know John probably want to give his number, but can I add one little caveat?
Absolutely.
We know Jimmy, we know Drake. Can I throw Consequence's name in there? Because he was going around in interviews dissing Pusha about, the way he kind of removed himself from Kanye during that little thing. So I think he might have some combos in there too. Pusha hears everything. We gotta remember this. Pusha is one of those types.
He's
like he's a sociopath, bro.
Just waiting.
So like I think he got balls for cons too. To be honest with you.
Yo, I forgot about Consequence, because naturally when I see Consequence, I disregard him.
For real,
no disrespect to and honestly, because I know how he get. Consequence, no disrespect, but your personality just makes me not want to listen to you talk. Because it's like to me, like Consequence is the consummate tryhard. Everything he does, he might be the realest nigga. Like he might really fight a nigga. He might be all of these things, but on camera, it gives try hard. Like he wants to be taken seriously at all times. Because maybe that's because people don't give him his respect, so he feel like he got to take his respect. But I always got try hard energy from him. The amount of times he talks about Tribe, he wasn't Tribe. But when we think about Tribe, do we think about Consequence? Let's be fair.
No.
Nah. When we think about good music, do we think about Consequence? When we think about Kanye, do we think about Consequence?
Not really.
No.
First album, maybe.
But in the totality of what we know as Kanye West, we don't think about Consequence.
Yet
somehow he took it upon himself to go at a dude who, for business reasons, had to disassociate from Ye. It ain't like Pusha's doing interviews talking bad about Kanye, subtweeting him, throwing subs on Instagram. He silently stepped away after his last album dropped because Kanye, and we got to start looking at this as business. Everybody wants to be friends in corporate America. Sometimes people are bad money, and when people are bad, and Kanye was really bad money in the middle of last year.
He knows.
Mm-hmm.
For the greater good of the Pusha T, the Thornton family, he had to make a business decision that didn't involve Kanye, and he did it quietly, bruh. Let that man. I think he might have said one thing as far as I think there was a Pusha T quote where he said that he was stepping away, just for the sake of clarity, because again, niggas in the comments are trying to jump us. But beyond that, he didn't bash him, he didn't railroad him, he didn't talk bad on Ye. When people were taking, like, it was almost like they were taking turns talking bad on Ye. He did what he needed to do. But when it comes to this battle, or if there was a potential battle, and now that that consequence caveat and the fact that Pusha T is a sociopath, bro, I'm giving this an 11 out of 10. I'm excited. I'm gonna tell you why. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because Jim Jones and Consequence cannot out-rap Pusha T. Pusha T is one of the all-time greats. I don't care what you say. Debate your puppy. I don't care. Don't say nothing to me. Pusha T is an all-time great. You hear me? If you think he's just good or he's great and he's not an all-timer, just tell me you disagree and let's move on, because you won't change my mind. But to me, when it comes to personalities, Jim Jones will make that battle entertaining because he's gonna talk a lot. The bars won't land, but Capo might find a way to find out something about Pusha T that Pusha T don't want niggas to know, and he's gonna drag it. Or Capo would just lie and just make some shit up. Entertaining. The Vlad TV interview with Consequence and the bars he would try to put out would be entertaining. It'll be funny enough for us to talk about it on the pod. To me, the personality, you got one sociopath, one real street nigga, and one dude who just wants to be respected, all having little issues. I'm here for it. 11 out of 10. Let's talk about it.
If you swap out Jimmy and you put Killer, I might have felt the way you feel, Jog. I just feel like Jimmy just don't not against a Pusher. Like, again, you remember what the whole thing with the Nas, for Chakufi, like that was really the highlight of the whole. It wasn't the bars, bro.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? It was just little.
But what did we remember from the Jim Jones, from the Cameron and Nas beef? We remember Jim Jones saying, "I'm gonna smack the Koofy off
the Koofy."
That's what I'm saying. Capo's personality would make
it'll be funny. Punchlines. Yeah.
He would talk about his braids. He probably talk about the straight backs with no shape up or box of braids with no. We know how Capo stayed, bro.
But he was another nigga that was 40 with the braids, so it's like you can't even use that.
His braids cleaner though.
And while I agree with y'all, Pusha is an elite MC. Is an elite MC with an elite skill set. Jimmy looking at shit like, I got this by Jay-Z, and it's like, who gives a fuck? At the end of the day, you know what I mean?
Who are
Jay-Z
you?
and Nas both diss me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
true,
Jimmy not gonna be, because I know we spoke about. I wasn't there, but it was. I agreed with y'all about Push being basically a big bad wolf of the rap game. You know what I'm saying? And I think it would be the same if he got at Jim, but I think Jim is, not scared at all. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
plus you can't tell Harlem niggas nothing, bro. You can't tell them
at all, bro.
They always think they're gonna win. That's what it is with them.
That's the caveat right there. Harlem niggas are undefeated in their mind, bro. You can't tell.
Salute to them for that.
Word to mother. We have one more topic, but you know what? I'm gonna save that for when Sin comes and we do the live on Monday. We're gonna end the lunch hour here because we don't want y'all to get fired. We hope y'all had a good time with us. We had a good time chopping it up with each other, chopping it up with y'all in the chat. You know what we do here. For the vets, for the people who really tap into the rap round table that know what we do and don't complain about certain things because they get the show. Much love to y'all. To the new people here, before you really get upset, take the time after you watch this video to make sure you go back and find some of the older episodes. Go to the 30s, go to the 20s, go to the teens, go to the 40s. Get familiar. Watch all the album reviews. Watch all the lives. Make sure that you tap in with this pod before you start telling us who we are, because you just got here and we know that you don't get the show yet. And you just think we're niggas on the internet with opinions. So it's a little bit deeper than that here. And the people in the chat right now, they know the vibes. They've been know the vibes. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Also, make sure that you're hitting the like button. We appreciate the views. But again, the algorithm is much important to building this pod out. Stop being selfish, y'all. Hit that like button. Make sure y'all run the comments up so that we in the algorithm, so we can bring in new people to the chat who want to be entertained with some rap talk, some jokes, some comedies, that barbershop lunch table vibe that we bring to y'all. See, we miss you tonight. Make sure you pull up for that live. Deanie, take us home.
Yo, y'all know the fucking vibes, man. Y'all rocking with Joff, the point guard.
Yes,
Macito, the voice of the industry. Dean, the balance of the force. Shout out to Sensei, the Raps Now. We gonna get up with you soon, my brother. We the Rap Round Table. We the fuck out of here. You did.
Little vibes.
Sir.